Well, a new nickname and hashtag describing President Biden is going viral on social media amid the war in the Middle East.
I deeply regret my vote for Joe Biden.
I know there's a genocide happening, and yeah, he's Genocide Joe.
You can hear people around us are chanting Genocide Joe.
But Genocide Joe?
I will not vote for Genocide Joe is a growing sentiment from all over social media.
I want to make sure that Genocide Joe hears what we have to say.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Biden, Biden, you cannot.
All right, so the trend seen at nearly every pro-Palestine protest across the nation. You see signs. You can hear chants of Americans criticizing the president. And among the protesters, there's a growing claim that Biden's days in office are numbered, with people planning to actively get anyone else in office, anyone, as a means of getting the U.S. to stop funding Israel. Let's bring in NewsNation political contributor, host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast, Chris Hahn. Chris, great to see you there. We saw that little mashup there of different videos. We saw certainly many young people, but, you know, a wide range of ages. We saw men, we saw women. Could what's happening in the Middle East ultimately keep President Biden from having a second term in office?
I think that the people who are out there chanting Genocide Joe and from the river to the sea are incredibly ignorant of the reality of what has been going on the last 80 years with the Jewish people, with the wars against Israel, and what has happened over the last month since Hamas terrorized Israel, killing thousands and really starting this war. Do I think that this will hurt Joe Biden in the long run? No, I do not. I do think that these people are very disillusioned. I don't think they understand what Hamas is. And I think that they need to learn very quickly what they are rallying for. It's very disappointing to me.
You know, and Chris, they may or may not vote for President Biden, but, you know, one thing that certainly is being reflected is the polling, and it shows that, you know, the president's numbers are down among young people. They are down among Black Americans. I mean, is there any way for the president to satisfy this growing divide from within his own party? I mean, you know, Representative Tlaib, you know, accused him of supporting genocide in Gaza, warning voters, quote, won't forget his actions. I mean, so we're seeing it from within his own party.
Yeah, I mean, Representative Tlaib has a strong position on this. She is of Palestinian descent, and I'm sure she is concerned about the innocent Palestinians. I think President Biden is also concerned about innocent Palestinians, but there needs to be a removal of Hamas, who has been not only terrorizing Israel since on October 7th, but they have been lobbing bombs into Israel for decades since they took control of Gaza in 2005. So I think that what President Biden needs to do is focus on supporting Israel and ending this war as quickly as possible with the full removal of Hamas, and then worry about unifying the party as the election gets nearer. Look, nothing will unify the Democratic Party quicker than Donald Trump being the Republican nominee. And once that is a reality, and I do believe that a lot of Democrats are delusioned, thinking that Donald Trump's going to go to jail or he won't be the nominee. No, he's very likely going to be the nominee. And once that is the case, you will see a quick unification of the Democratic Party. All
right, you know, and Chris, obviously the president, you know, and you laid it out right there. He has to walk this delicate, this sensitive line. He's trying to balance a lot of things. Obviously, there's division with his own party, but he's trying to support the U.S. ally, obviously, in Israel. But is his administration scrambling behind the scenes?
Well, I think every administration's scrambling behind the scenes. I mean, you know, you're carrying the weight of the world in that job. And then, of course, the politics that comes with it. And this is obviously one of the most complex things any president will ever face. Right. But I do think that Americans are capable of having two competing thoughts in their mind. And I wish they would start doing that. That there is a terrorist organization that is the government of Gaza that must be removed after the terrorist actions they have committed on Israel. Very similar to what was done to us on 9/11. They must be removed. But we could also care for the millions of people who live in the Gaza Strip, who are, you know, through no fault of their own, living under the thumb of that organization and suffering for it. So, yes, the president needs to work more with Israel and with our allies to make sure that those innocent Palestinians have a pathway to safety. But Hamas must be destroyed. And that is not something that is up for debate, I don't think, in America today.
Right.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.